Tampa is the 53rd largest city in America. It's a city that's rich in diversity, a city that struggles with the challenges of every big metropolitan area in the country, but also has emerged out of this recession as one of the most dynamic marketplaces in America.
I was mayor from 2003 through 2011. At the time, in 2003, Tampa had one of the highest crime rates for a city of its size in America. Collectively, with the police department, with the community, we were able to reduce crime in Tampa. We went from a city that was one of the most unsafe of its size in America to one of the safest of its size in America.
You can't grow a community. You can't compete for the best and the brightest. You can't compete for corporate relocations. You can't encourage companies to grow or to invest unless your city is safe.
You can't be a great place to live. You can't be a great place to attract new businesses, and you can't be a great place to ask tourists to come if you're not safe.
It has been a good run. We've had almost historic levels of crime reduction over the last 15 years. It's north of 70%. It's been an amazing transformation of this city, amazing performance by our officers. Many cities in America have seen a reduction in crime. I don't think too many cities have seen the crime reduction to the extent that Tampa has.
Tampa is probably one of the best case studies in America for a city of our size addressing crime in such an effective way.
Part of it is how we train. Part of it is how we deploy our resources. Part of it is how we use technology to help us in the crime fight to be smarter about what we do and how we deploy the assets that we do have and where we deploy them.
The goal with Street Smart has always been to provide officers that crime-fighting information in real time, literally at their fingertips in their police cars, so they know 24/7 exactly what's occurring in their area of responsibility, and they have the information at hand to go out and reduce the crime.
And then it goes from being reactive to proactive. And that proactivity and following up on crimes and having those technologies that we didn't have before is a huge asset to us and a success for us.
It's not enough to say we were divided into 3 districts. Everyone's familiar with the precinct level. We had to take it down to the street level. That's when data becomes very important, because you can't speak in generalities when you're dealing with a specific problem. When you get to understand in your city who's doing what, where, and how they're doing it, and that pattern repeats itself over and over again, that's when you can deploy your officers to proactively address that. And that's what our police chiefs did.
I think one of our biggest successes with this is the first 48 hours. So by the time a report would have ended up on a detective's desk, we're solving the crime. And you can't do that without technology. And not just for 1 or 2 officers, but for the whole department. Anybody can have access to that information. It's not for a select few. Everybody has that information and has access to it.
Now, we had the idea that if we could put that information into our officers' hands, what a resource it would be. And so we worked with NC4, where we were able to bring those business principles to them. This is what our officers need in the day-to-day crime fight. How can you guys put that into a technology that provides that information? And that's how we were able to develop Street Smart.
What you have seen, particularly over the last 15 years, is just an amazing downward trend of crime in this community, which has also allowed us to grow and to prosper, and for everybody in this city to feel safer than what they did before. We have had over 100,000 less victims. Neighborhoods are safer. Our community is doing better. The world is changing, and technology is changing before our eyes. And shame on us if we are not on the cutting edge of deploying resources and deploying technology in the crime fight. Bodies are important, and presence is important, and you have to keep your manpower levels up. But my job is to help them do their job. And my job is to, number one, make sure that whatever resources we can employ allows them to be safer, allows them to be more efficient, allows them to do more with the 10-hour shifts that they work, allows them to access information in ways that protects them and allows them to be better at what they do. When it's all said and done, it's us against the bad guys. But using technology to help them do their jobs better and to be safer is absolutely critical. So whatever we can deploy that we can afford, We are aggressive about acquiring it. We're aggressive about using it. We're aggressive about incorporating it into our policing DNA. And it makes us better police officers and makes our city a safer place.